Hi everyone, I'm Lori McGraw at the Resource Rundown. I want to talk to you about programs that integrate with Google Classroom. And for those of you that use Google Classroom, you know how important that really is. Or if you use a different platform, you know how important it is to be able to have programs that you use that integrate with that platform. So I'm going to go over 4 main ones today, and then a couple others I'll mention, but I'm going to review 4 of them for you that cover not just English, but other subjects as well. Remember to subscribe to my channel down below and hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss out on anything I have coming up. And we're going to get started right now. So I want to talk about a program called ASSISTments first. So it's called ASSISTments, not ASSISTments first, but ASSISTments. And it's for math, and it has a variety of different math programs built already into it. And it's a free service. It integrates with Google Classroom. And what it does is it basically, you go in, you select your program, you select the problems from your program, and it allows the kids to be able to put their responses into that system. And it's a pretty nifty tool because it gives an explanation of how, it shows them how they're supposed to put their answer into the box. And it aligns again with your curriculum, and it's a pretty nifty tool. If you haven't checked out ASSISTments before, you need to look at it because it could be very helpful for you with your math programs. I know that's an issue with some of the teachers that I've worked with of how do they get their students to actually put the problems in there and then to be able to easily assess that work. And this really simplifies that process for you. The next program I want to talk about is NoRedInk. It is primarily an English program, but it has grammar options, writing options, it has tutorials for students, but it also has problems and it'll score those for you, and you can assign that a problem from NoRedInk into Google Classroom. Now there is a free service, so there's a limited amount within their free service. There is a paid service. It can be kind of expensive, but the free service does give you a lot of options, and it is pretty cool if you teach English to be able to use that for some of your grammar pieces online. It also gives help tutorials or help pieces for students when they're working on their writing. So there's a little bit of a guided writing process within it with their lessons. It's a pretty handy tool. I had my students use that when writing an essay this last year. I didn't require it, I just gave them the option. I showed it to them and let them go in and work on it. They found it really helpful, they liked using it, and I saw better results from my students when they did write their essay within there because it breaks it out. They can write one piece of their essay at a time. The third product I want to talk about is Actively Learn, and I've talked about this before. In fact, I did a review video on this one, so you can check that out. I have that up above, and I'll also put it in the link down below. But this is a great program for English, science, social studies. It allows the kids to read multiple different texts. There are videos. They all have questions that are with them. So they actually have to read through and answer a question or a poll or something along the lines of the story before they can continue on. So it kind of breaks it up. You can add your own questions to it. There's poll questions, true, false, multiple choice, and there's also, you can add your own short response questions with a grading rubric, and you can select your own grading rubric in the grades section of this. But it will automatically score everything else for you, and then you would go in and put your own score in on the short response questions. It's a really cool individualized type of program where you can create groups, and you can also have kids annotate their notes. They can share them with you, just you, or they can share them with the whole class. And when they share them with the whole class, other classmates can select or click on their notes and add to it and put their own comments with them. And so they create sort of a discussion board in their notes. It's a really, my kids did an excellent job with this and really created a good solid dialogue and discussion about the story. So when you're in an online environment, that's really helpful to be able to have that. There's also, in the paid version, you can have a whole bunch of data that is collected on your students on where they need to improve in different areas. It's a pretty nifty tool. So Actively Learn, it's a great program and would be very helpful in this online situation that we're in right now. And it integrates with Google Classroom. So when you assign it in Actively Learn, you can hit the link and it'll assign it automatically into your Google Classroom. And then when it grades it and you're all done grading in Actively Learn, you can hit a sync button. It'll sync those grades over to that assignment. So it's pretty slick with its integration with Google Classroom. The fourth program I want to talk about is National Geographic. Now it does have a Google Classroom link where you can link the whole unit in there, but it includes all of the unit directions and lesson planning ideas and all of that. So it's really not for kids, that part of it, but it provides a ton of resources. And if you want to know how you can modify resources to use within your classroom or Google Classroom, I will be doing a video on that for next week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, so you don't miss out on that. But National Geographic does have a plethora of resources for social studies and science teachers. You should check that out. They're very well laid out. It provides all of the resources and the links for everything that you need. So if you're needing to go online and you need to be able to find a resource you could use, that would be a good one. You would just have to adapt some of the materials to use online. So I'm just going to mention PBIS Learning Media. It's actually kind of along the same lines as National Geographic, but there's so much on there, and it's not just science or social studies. There's math and language arts as well. Now, I also need to add a little part about Flipgrid. What I did with it is I used that with my students for them to present their projects. And with Flipgrid, you can present it privately to the teacher or you can make it public so it's presented to everybody. So it does integrate with Google Classroom and is an easy tool to be using people can be creative. There's already done lessons in some of there as well that you can use. So it's kind of a cool tool. So we talked about ASSISTments, NoRedInk, Actively Learn, National Geographic, PBS Learning Media, and Flipgrid. Those are all great tools that you can use to integrate with Google Classroom. Obviously there's other programs out there, and if you have a great program, something that you've used in your classroom specifically that worked really well or other teachers might want to look at to use within their classrooms to integrate with Google Classroom, please leave it down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you liked my video, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.